Okay. So this is what we discussed, types of machine learning. Okay, this is we did. Okay. Now we have to do the pre-processing part. Okay. So what pre-processing says is when you are presented with the data, okay,
Mm-hmm.
then how do you work with, how do you handle the data?
Okay.
Okay. Um, so most of my data set is up here. So if you go to github.com or github.com/Swapnil Saurav. Okay, Swapnil Saurav. And here you have multiple repositories. Okay, there are many repositories. Look for
Mm-hmm.
this machine learning somewhere here. Okay,
Okay.
so okay, there will be some here, and there's something called as data set
I
here.
clicked on the machine learning and I don't see the
Yeah,
data
you will
set.
see. I'll show you. You'll have this data set here. The data set has some machine learning some data set, and your this data science machine learning. Okay, you clicked on machine learning, right?
Yeah, I clicked on machine
And you
learning.
don't see these things.
No, I don't see those things.
No, you should be able to see. It's public. Anybody, everybody can see it. Not yet.
No, I don't see it. For me, it's this. It says this
Change
is.
your browser. Open in different browser. I'll share the link with you. Open in different browser. It could be problem with the browser.
Yeah, I can see it now. Hello.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I can see it now.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So going back to our discussion here, yes. So you have this data pre-processing. Okay. So we will learn how to make data ready for machine learning analysis. Okay. That's the objective that we have right now. So
Mm-hmm.
first thing is, okay, import the data set. Okay. So to work with any data set, okay, you have to set the current working directory.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what happens is, okay, when you read files, it will look at the work, the current working directory. Okay, so it's better that you set the working directory to where your files are. You can download those files. Okay, and for example, here in my case, those files are in D drive. So D data set, I call it.
I'm still looking at the book, right? I'm not.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll not
Okay.
yet shared. I'll just share. See where the files are. Yes. So here are my files. Okay, same files that you see. Data pre-processing. Okay. So
Okay.
now I'm moving to R Studio.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. R Studio is coming up. Okay. So first step is, okay, I set my working directory to the location where the files are. So I'm going to say set working directory, set WD.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and here I not this. So the files are in the data set. Okay, and when you're giving, you can give forward slash or you do double backward slash, right, to read the data set. So here I have my data set. Okay, now
So
if I
if you
have to
go,
read, sorry,
sorry. So if you go to the sessions,
oh,
on the top, we have an option as sessions, right? Can you click on the sessions?
uh-huh.
So this way, can we like set the working directory as
Yeah,
well?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Or you can directly say set WD.
Okay. Set W. Okay.
Okay, so yeah, look at my screen. Okay, okay, and then you give the folder where your files are, so that when you are reading the files next time, we don't have to specifically give the file name. Okay, you can directly give the files. You don't have to give the folder name. What I mean. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it will by default it will look in this drive only. Okay,
Okay.
so now I'm going to read my data set. So I'm going to say data set, okay, equal to read.csv. Okay, and then I give the file name. So I'll just go and copy the file name. It is one data preprocessing.csv. So now when I run data set, working directory is set. Okay, it has successfully read it. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so now we have the data. Now, if you want to visualize or you want to see the data, okay, you can display the data here. Okay, so you see here region. Let's say I do print data set. Okay, so you see the data set here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a region has all the data. Salesperson has one NA here. So data is missing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here also quotation also data is missing. A win has all the data. Now, of course, see, when you are performing these activities, we are talking about mathematical formulae, right? And mathematical formulae cannot work on blank values, right?
Yeah.
And we cannot set it to zero as well. So what do? We need to handle the missing value. So the first step, okay, that we are learning, okay, is your handling missing values. Okay, so how do you handle missing value? So to access this particular column, okay, let's first focus on salesperson column. So
Mm-hmm.
to access this column, I have to give the data set name. So data set name is data set dollar. You can see all these four columns are available to select. So I want to work on salesperson column. So I'm saying data set salesperson equal to, okay, data set salesperson equal to data set salesperson. Okay, data set salesperson equal to data set salesperson. Okay, I'm saying whatever value you have the same value. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but no, it's not. It first have to check if it is null or not. If it is not null, then it should be same old value. But if it is null, what we'll do is we'll replace the null values with the average values of the column.
Okay.
Okay, so first strategy I'm going to adopt is the two strategies you can use. First
Mm-hmm.
strategy is that just delete that row.
Yeah.
Okay, so so there's a missing value. Let me delete this row or delete this row. Okay, but when deleting the row, you're losing the data, right? The second
Yes.
option is you replace with something
That
which will kind of will not have much impact on your
output.
output. Yes. Okay, so one strategy is, let's say if you have very large data set, okay, 50,000 and 10 rows are missing values, remove those 10 rows. It doesn't matter that much.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have 10 rows and 5 of them are missing values, if you remove it, it's not going to help you anyway, right?
Yeah.
So in that case, it's better that you handle those missing values. So we are going to handle these missing values by replacing with average value.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to check. So I'm going to use if else. If else, okay. So if data set salesperson is null, then perform average, else leave it as it is. This is what we are going to do. So
Mm-hmm.
if is dot na, okay, this is a function which is going to check if the
It's
data
null.
set salesperson is null or not. So I'm saying if, okay, is na, then you perform some action, will perform some average, okay, you perform some value, otherwise leave it as it is. So if it is, okay, missing values, then we are going to perform some action, otherwise we'll leave the original value itself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now we are going to do the average of this data set,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and then I'm going to apply function equal to function of x. So you're taking x and you're returning mean of x by ignoring, okay, ignoring the missing value. See, if you again, okay, here you have called capital. So when you again, if you perform mean here, you can't find mean because you have NA. So NA
Yes.
dot RM is like remove, RM for remove NA true. So that means ignore the RM NA values.
Okay.
Okay.
So for
Now
instance, we have 6 rows where we have NA. It's just taken the average of 5.
average of all these values. Okay. Ignoring the NA values.
So yeah, it's dividing by
No, no, no.
65.
14,
Um,
right?
yeah,
So it will divide by 13 now.
yeah, 13. Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
it'll add all of them and divide by 13, right? So let's say if we got it right, okay, no error, good. Now let's go and see the different data set. See here, this was NA and it has been replaced now.
Okay.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. The same thing we'll do with quotation. Quotation is also empty, right? So I'm going to
So instead of like NA, I mean, if the value is just, I mean, if that particular field is, I mean,
blank
is
means NA.
yeah, blank.
When you read blank values, okay, now let me show you. If I go to the data set, see this is blank.
Okay,
Okay, so when your Excel or CSV is blank, then it is treated as NA in the table. Otherwise, you have to handle it differently.
okay. Yeah, if there is a 0, then you have to handle it differently.
Yeah, see, yeah, generally you don't, nothing doesn't mean zero, right? Zero means it should be zero, right? It doesn't mean that it's nothing.
It's not, yeah,
So that's why I have to be a little careful with that. Yeah.
okay.
Okay. So the same thing we'll do for quotation.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to use copy quotation and put it here as quotation. I'm going to copy it and replace all salesperson with quotation. Okay. Now you print data set. We have handled the missing values.
Yeah.
Correct?
So if we have a huge data set from like say SQL Server, how do we, I mean, can
Can you
we,
speak a little louder?
yeah, if we have a data set in like SQL Server, like can we, I mean,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
how, So we can connect here from R.
Correct, correct, correct.
Okay.
Okay. So see, this portion will change, right? This portion will change based on from where you're connecting. Okay. So right now this is read CSV will connect CSV file, right? And the different source will have different way to connect, but rest of the things will be exactly same.
Okay.
Okay.
Sort of just like give me a minute. I'll be back in a minute. Sorry. Hello.
Yes. Yep. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can like, hear you.
Hey,
Uh,
when you're back, okay. I think I'll just repeat it what we did. Okay,
yeah,
so this is where we had done. Okay, we had handled missing values, and I
yeah,
think we had discussed connecting to SQL Server also. So
yeah.
it will connect from here. So what I've done here is, okay, since you said that we cannot use text data for analysis, we have to change the character to a factor, right, or categorical. So factor function will convert into categorical value. So what we saw was that earlier it was CHR character got changed to factor here. That was our second step. First step missing value, second step convert into categorical value. Third step is breaking into test set and training set. And we discussed at length why training set is required, right? So we want to test, as I just said that, we have many algorithms, but we're not sure which algorithm would be best for a particular problem,
Yeah.
right? So okay, so from the main data set, we will hide about 20 to 25 to 30% of data as
Mhm.
test set.
Mhm.
Okay, so we will
Yeah.
split the data into test set, and we will not pass it for machine to learn. So machine learning model will take algorithm or will take the data here to learn, but it will not take to record which we will use to predict. Okay, so to
Mhm.
test this, not to predict, to test. And then we see, okay, for which problem or which algorithm is better in that case. And
Mhm.
okay, so so here we are splitting into 80 percentage, and whatever is true, that means 80% goes to training set and 20% go to test set. So our training and test set are ready. So
Mhm.
before we do that, we need to do one more thing called scaling, because in X we are using three values, but out of that, if you see two values have a high number, like 2 digit, 5 digit, there's a difference
Yeah.
between them as well, right? You know, uh, generally the values which are bigger, heavier, tend to pull towards itself. So your data analysis will become um, cannot be trusted basically. So you said okay.
Okay.
So so let we'll make them all equal so that there is no
Bias. Yeah.
bias exactly. So to perform that, we discussed about three steps. One is divide the higher number with 10 or 100 or 1000, 10,000 to bring it down, which is again good idea but not preferred. Then we did min max scaling. Makes minimum value becomes zero, maximum becomes one, and all the values between zeros and one or zero zero. Okay, will have
In between 0 and 1, other values will be.
sorry,
Yeah, other values will be.
correct. Will be brought down to the same root.
Yeah.
Correct. Second method we discussed was min max between zeros and one. Third is z score normalization, and this is what generally we prefer. Okay, so let's do this. So I'm doing scale of training set and scale of test set. Now if I print test set, so you see that
The training underscore set. So we're saying for like all for like all rows from 2 to 3 columns.
yes, yes, all
Yeah,
rows and two to
fill the
three column. Yes.
yeah.
and that will be scaled. So you see that, okay, salesperson and quotation had like salesperson has double digit. It became single 0.7,
Mhm.
right? So this is
So
how scaling.
what? I mean, if you want, we can like talk about it tomorrow. I have some
Yeah,
questions.
we are
If
done. We are done. We are done. So
okay,
tomorrow we'll continue building our model.
okay,
So this is what scale will give you.
okay,
Okay, the value is now brought down between -3 and +3 in case of Z scaling.
okay.